Okay, so the main verbs have tense. Sat is the past tense of sit, stood is the past tense of stand, walked is the past tense of walk, etc. All the main verbs are present and past tenses. These also have tenses, right? If I say he is and I compare it with he was, you see that was is past tense, is present tense. And if I say they are and I compare it with they were is past tense, are is present tense. Similarly, I did is past tense, do and does are present tense. Was and were are past tense, are and is and am are present tense. Had is past tense, have and has are present tense. Right? So these have tenses, right? The primary auxiliaries. Now we come to the part on question tags. Now, what do we mean by a tag? You have an assertive sentence like he is here. We have an assertive sentence like he is here. If you add a tag at the end, it will become a question, right? So what you're doing is you're changing an assertive sentence into a question. A question is also called an interrogative sentence, right? So how do we form the tags? How do we form the tags? Now, to understand this, we need to know that there are two types of sentences. One is the positive sentence, the other is the negative sentence. The negative sentences, they have the word not. Okay? They have the word not. For example, he isn't here. This is a negative sentence because this word is not, right? Negative sentence, right? And a positive sentence doesn't have the word not, okay? So, in this sentence, we have an auxiliary. In these two sentences, we have auxiliary. The auxiliary is. Now, how do we form the tag? If the sentence is positive, take the auxiliary, make it negative, and add the pronoun form of the subject. Now, this is the subject. The subject is already a pronoun, right? Now, what do I mean by pronoun form of the subject? Let's take this example. Instead of he, if I say Ram is here, right? Now this sentence is positive, it has an auxiliary. Take the auxiliary, make it negative. The pronoun form of the subject, the pronoun form of Ram is he, right? Now, suppose this was Sita. Sita is here, right? So, again, you have an auxiliary, take the auxiliary, make it negative, right? Add the pronoun form of the subject. The pronoun form of Sita is she, right? So, for any noun, any given noun subject, you can substitute one of these pronouns. You can substitute one of these pronouns, right? So, this is for a positive sentence. Now, if the sentence is negative, and it has an auxiliary, the sentence has an auxiliary, take the auxiliary, make it positive, add the pronoun form of the subject, right? We'll look at two more examples. One is positive, the other is negative, right? This is the auxiliary, right? He can read, take the auxiliary, make it negative, and add the pronoun form of the subject. And the second sentence is negative, take the auxiliary, make it positive, and add the pronoun form of the subject, right? Now, this set of sentences has an auxiliary. Here it is, here it's can. Remember the auxiliaries are these, right? Suppose a sentence doesn't have an auxiliary. Now, in these three, the verb is a main verb. Here it is goes, here it is went, here it is go. These three are main verbs. So how do we form the question tag? Right? To form the question tag for these, we need to use a form of do. Right? See, the do forms are do, does, and did. Right? So the do forms are do, does, and did. Now, how do we choose between them and how do we form them? Now remember, did is past tense. I did is, if I say I did my homework yesterday, it is in past tense. Now out of these three, went is past tense. Now, this is a positive sentence. It doesn't have a negative word. If the sentence is positive, take did and make it negative. Right? And add the pronoun form of the subject. Right? Okay? Now, here, between these two, this one has the S. If the verb ends in S, use does. The sentence is positive, take does and make it negative. Add the pronoun form of the subject. This one doesn't have the S, use do. Right? So, this will become don't and this is they.